So in today's video, I am going to try to restore the headlights on my 350Z. As you guys saw from the previous footage, these headlights are in pretty bad shape. I've tried multiple headlight restoration kits, but no matter how many times you do it, it's just always going to come back to this. This headlight honestly is not as bad. It probably looks perfect on camera, but it does have a couple imperfections. These are OEM HR headlights. The previous owner opened them up, painted the housings black, did a really shitty job at resealing them, and there's just RTV everywhere. These headlights to me are only going to be temporary until I'm able to find a new set. But I'm not a professional, but this is the way I'm gonna do it. I feel like it's gonna work out. So this is what we're going to be using. I have 1000 grit sandpaper, 1500, 2000, 2500, 3000, and 5000. So we're going to be sanding the headlights down, trying to get rid of the existing clear coat. That way I can go with this Duplicolor 1K clear and try to re-clear coat the headlights. Another extra thing that I got was this 3M tape and drape. It's pretty much just tape with a bunch of plastic at the bottom. Another thing that I picked up is a new roll of painter's tape, and I also got a tack cloth from the auto parts store. After we get done sanding the headlights, I am going to use the tack cloth. That is pretty much going to pick up any little dust particles that are stuck to the headlights. This is going to make sure that when we spray or clear coat, it's not going to have a bunch of trash on the paint. If you guys don't want to clear coat the headlights, another thing that you can do is after you get done with the wet sanding, you can just hit it with a really high cut compound like this one, and then also a swirl remover, rubbing compound, and then polishing compound will do it just fine. But if you do go the route of polishing the headlights after you get done wet sanding, the headlights might always come back to the previous state they were in. I am going to keep the headlights in the car. In my opinion, it's a little bit easier to sand them when they are bolted up to the car. Anyways, the first step is going to be removing the front bumper, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now our next step is going to be start wet sanding. But yeah, you want to grab your blue painter's tape, and you want to tape as much as you are going to be comfortable with. So I already did this side. I'm going to go ahead and move on to this side and finish taping it up. So we're going to start with this headlight. So go ahead and grab your sandpaper and your water. I'll put a little bit of Dawn dish soap in here. Just spray down the headlight. You want to make sure you get it everywhere. So I haven't been sanding for that long. As you guys can tell, this is what you're gonna get. It's gonna be pretty much a really hazy and uniform surface. You can see here at the top, it still looks pretty glossy. Doesn't look like the rest of the headlight does. That just means you might have to go back and hit those spots a little bit more. But pretty much this area right here of the headlight, that's what you want everywhere. That's pretty much what it's gonna look like. So I just got done sanding with 1000 grit. As you guys can tell, it's looking pretty good so far. This is exactly how you want it to look. You just want a really smooth and hazy surface to work with. Finally got this headlight done. It's sanded down all the way down to 5000 grit. I'm going to tape around the edges of the headlight one more time. And I'm also going to be using the tape and drape. You can buy this pretty much any Lowe's, Home Depot, any like home improvement store should have this in stock on the shelf for you guys. This was only 10 bucks. The tape was like $4, and the tack cloth is like $1 and some change. So it's honestly pretty cheap to make your headlights look brand new. Now that we have the headlights wiped down, now I'm going to use my tack cloth and follow the instructions on your can. Specifically, this one tells you to do 3 coats, 10 minutes in between. So I'll let it dry for 10 minutes before you spray your next one. So we let our second coat fully dry for 10 minutes. Now we're ready to apply the third. And you guys can already tell how much better the headlights are looking. But yeah, for our final coat of clear coat, we're gonna want to go a little bit heavier to reduce the orange peel on the paint.
Early the next morning.
Now that I let the clear coat on the headlights fully cure overnight, as you can tell, what I'm going to be doing now is wet sanding them again and then polishing them. So what I have here is just a bowl full of water. I just left my sandpaper soaked there for a few minutes before I start wet sanding. But all the sandpaper I'm going to be using, I don't want to burn through the clear coat because that would be bad. So all I'm doing is 2500, 3000, and then 5000 grit. And after I get done with the process of wet sanding, I'm going to be using my 2 rubbing compounds by Meguiar's with my Griot's polishing pad. You can totally do this by hand if you don't have a polisher, but it would just take a little bit longer, but it's definitely possible to get a good result out of it. That'll pretty much be it for today. As you guys can tell, I am honestly very happy with the results that I accomplished today. You guys can accomplish the same results just by doing what I did. It was a pretty affordable and fun thing to do, and I definitely recommend you guys doing it if you need to and your headlights need to be restored.